Hi, everyone. Welcome to the Indiana ACAC Association for College Admission Counseling Virtual College Fair. Thank you so much for joining us. We're so excited to have you. Before we get started, we do have a few housekeeping items to share. First, if you have any questions throughout the presentations, please feel free to use the Q&A button to type in your questions to the presenters at any time. They are there ready and available to answer any questions that you may have. Second, your camera and microphone are off. You're muted and your video is off. The panelists can't see or hear you. There are more sessions going on. So if you're interested in signing up for more sessions after this one, you can do that at the same place you registered for this. And then lastly, this recording will be available a week from today. It will be available at strivescan.com/Indiana. Also for tonight, you are in session A2. And so this will, where my mouse is circling, is the order of presentations for tonight. So without further ado, I'll get out of the way and we'll introduce our first presenter from Bellermine University.
Hi, welcome everyone. So glad you all could join us. I'm going to be sharing my screen now with the PowerPoint that I have for you all today. So again, welcome. My name is Logan Vians. I'm an undergraduate admission counselor at Bellermine University in Louisville, Kentucky. So a little bit about us. So we are a small private Catholic university in Louisville, Kentucky. And we have a few key things that really sets Bellarmine apart are the small class sizes and really the attention that the students get in the classroom and also outside the classroom. So we have an average class size of 20 students with an 11:1 student to faculty ratio. And so students are really able to thrive inside the classroom. And so the meaningful connections that students foster with their professors and other staff members really help them to feel at place and feel at home at Bellarmine. And so I'll get into a little bit about the application process. So we do have our application on the Common App and also our own website. And the only things we do need are your transcript and a letter of recommendation. And we are test optional. Basically, what that means is that we do not require test score. However, if you would like to submit that, we leave it up to your judgment. So a few things that we have at Bellarmine, we have a few Bellarmine guarantees that we like to call. And so the first one is that every single student who is accepted to Bellarmine will receive an academic scholarship that's solely based off their GPA and test score if they submit that. And so the average institutional award is about $28,000, which again is solely based off of merit. And then the average comprehensive package, which includes your merit scholarship, other financial aid, loans, all of that stuff, is about $39,000. And so our overall tuition is about $53,500. But when you subtract our overall comprehensive package for the average for students, the average cost for students is about $14,000 to $15,000. And so in addition to that, we recently announced a public prize promise. And so basically what this means is that if you qualify, meaning that you have a 3.6 GPA or above, and also live on campus all 4 years as a student, then we promise that you will not pay any more than the flagship university in whatever state you're from. So for example, Kentucky residents, they will, if they qualify, then they will pay no more than $26,000. And we promise that for every single student who qualifies. So in addition to all of that stuff, we have other guarantees such as internships, graduation in 4 years or less, and then also study abroad. So with all of these different opportunities for students, they're really able to thrive on campus. And so our student life is really thriving. We're consistently named one of the top schools in the South for student life. And being in Louisville, Kentucky, there's a lot of opportunities to get engaged both on campus and also off campus as well. So we're in the heart of the Highlands neighborhood, which is kind of like the eclectic, small, close-knit kind of community in the city. And so with all of these different accesses to different opportunities and places around campus and also off campus, students are able to really find their self at home at Bellermine. So yeah, that's it for my side of the presentation. So I will hand it off to Lily.
Awesome. Thank you so much. Some great information. So our next presenter is from Belmont University.
Hello, my name is Lily Scott. Thank you so much for joining us. And I am so excited to get to share Belmont University with you all in Nashville, Tennessee. So I am the admissions counselor for Indiana. So anytime you have any questions, please feel free to reach out to me. I am also a Belmont grad, and a Nashvilleian. So I'm happy to share any information with you about Belmont or Nashville. So here's my contact information, but I want to just share a quick picture with you all of our campus. We are less than 2 miles from downtown Nashville. So as you can see, we don't have any major streets or roads running through the middle of our campus, and our campus is pretty compact. So it takes about 10 minutes to walk from one end of campus to the other. So as you can see, my office, I am right here behind this tree. So we have several freshman residence halls here. When we hosted the presidential debate in October, it was held in our Curve Event Center, which is here. We had media tents all over our lawns. But just to give you a little quick look of campus, we'll talk a little bit more too about how you can come and visit us. Want to share just some general information with you about the university. We are a Christian medium-sized institution here in Nashville, Tennessee. So what's great about being medium-sized is that we have all of the resources of being a bigger school, but still our average class size is only 19 students. So having that small class size is such a huge benefit. I remember my professors knew my name, they knew what I was studying, they knew what I was interested in. So that was a huge benefit. We have a 14-to-1 student to faculty ratio. We have about 8,200 total students, about 6,630 undergraduate students. We have students from every state and over 28 countries, and over 67% of our students come from outside of Tennessee. So what does that mean for campus life? That means that there's always lots going on. There's always lots happening on campus. So it's not like everybody lives down the street and goes home on the weekends, but we have students coming from all over the country and all over the world to study here at Belmont. I want to share the top 6 things to know about Belmont. So I want to try to hit some of those highlights to share with you all. So the first thing I want to talk about is being here in Nashville. We have so many great opportunities for our students being here in this great city. You know, Nashville as Music City, we're right here by Music Row. We are also the healthcare capital of the United States. 3/4 of the nation's hospitals are serviced in some way by a company out of Nashville. We are so excited. We are opening a med school here in the next few years. So we're very excited to be adding a College of Medicine to our academic offerings. We are also a fashion capital. So we are the 3rd largest city with the most fashion industry-based headquarters here in Nashville. So we love to have our students get involved in internships. So lots of great ways for our students to get connected. The next thing I want to talk about is that we are a liberal arts institution. So what does that mean? We want our students to be well-rounded. So we want our students to have lots of different experiences in different academic fields and not just one concentration. We have over 100 different programs of study that our students can pursue. Here in a minute, we'll talk about some of our top majors as well, but those 100+ programs are divided up among 9 academic colleges. So lots of great ways to learn, to have different programs. We also have pre-professional programs and also grad programs if you're interested in pursuing that after your time here. We are a Christian university, and so we welcome students of all faith backgrounds or no faith background, and all students are welcome here. So we have lots of ways that our students can get involved, and we have 2 required religion courses that our students take. Our top majors by size here at Belmont are going to be music, business, nursing, and audio engineering technology. So those are our top 3 majors by size. I want to talk a little bit about the admissions process. We are test optional for 2021 and 2022. We know that so many of you have lost opportunities to test in the middle of this pandemic. And so we do not want any of our students to be at a disadvantage when they are applying. So you can choose whether or not you want to send in your test scores to us. We are also going to need your official high school transcript, a school counselor letter of recommendation, and you'll fill out our application through our online Belmont application or through the Common App, whichever one you prefer. And if you want to send in those official test scores, you can as well. So we would love to have you apply, and we would love to have you come and visit. We have been doing in-person visits since June, so we would love to have you come and see campus. So we have options for our students to visit us during the week in person and also on several weekends. And then we also have lots of great virtual opportunities. So we would love to have you come and visit. When you apply for admission at Belmont, your application for admission also counts as your application for scholarship considerations. You're automatically considered for any and all merit scholarships that you might be eligible for. Additionally, we encourage our families to file the FAFSA, the free application for federal student aid, to be considered for need-based aid. Thank you so much for joining us today, and we would love to see you at Belmont. Thank you so much.
Awesome, thank you. Just a reminder, we're about almost halfway through our webinar. And so if you have any questions at all, feel free to submit those through the Q&A button. Our presenters are there and ready to answer any questions that you may have. So next, we will go ahead and pass it over to hear from our representative from University of East London.
Thank you, Catherine. Hi, everyone. My name is Caitlin Benania, and I am the Americas Recruitment Officer here at the University of East London. Before I discuss studying in London, I just want to talk about London first as a city. So this quote says, "When a man is tired of London, he is tired of life." And I really think that this quote captures the beauty and the essence of London. It's an extremely diverse city filled with lots of people from all over the world. It's a city filled with opportunities and excitement. I think my favorite thing about London is that you never know what's waiting for you around the corner. And I don't think there are that many places in the world that give you that much excitement. I've been living in London for 3 years now, and I still haven't done everything there is to do in London. So there's definitely lots to do and lots to see in London. So this is a photo of our Docklands campus. We've got 3 campuses, all based in East London. As you can see, it's located in a very residential suburban area of London. We are also located right on the river. We are one of the few London universities with on-campus accommodation. So our students get to wake up to that gorgeous view. I'm going to talk a little bit more about accommodation in the next few slides, but I just wanted to give you a photo of our campus. And if you take a look at the circle that's in the middle of the photo, that is actually the on-campus tube station that we have. So public transport is definitely the main method of transportation in London, and it makes for traveling London super easy and super convenient because the train station is right on our doorstep. So as I said, the University of East London has 3 campuses, all in East London. The university's roots can be traced back to 1892, and we gained university status in 1992. We've got 17,000 students, 20% of which are international students. You can find our full course list on our website, but all of our subjects, they're spread across 6 schools. So education, business and law, health, sport and biosciences, art and creative industries, architecture and computing, as well as our School of Psychology. And just to compare studying at the University of East London versus studying in the US, our application is free. So you've literally got nothing to lose by submitting an application. We do rolling admission. So we aim to send your decision to you within 2 to 4 weeks from the date that you submit your application. And the deadline to apply is the end of July. One of probably the biggest difference of studying in the UK versus studying in the US is the fact that our bachelor's degrees are 3 years long compared to 4 in the US. So not only are you saving time, but you are also saving quite a bit of money as well. So tuition for the first year is just $19,000 US. This includes free textbooks. We are also one of the few UK schools that accepts FAFSA, so you are more than welcome to use FAFSA to fund your degree. And so that brings the total cost of your tuition for the entire degree to just $57,000 US. And accommodation, I love to talk about accommodation. So I was actually a graduate of the University of East London, and I lived on campus, and I absolutely love the dorms that we have on campus because everyone gets their own private room and their own private bathroom and shower. So the only thing you have to share is the kitchen, which is great because, you know, you get your own space, but you also get that social aspect of having flatmates. We're also located right on the river, so you get to wake up to that gorgeous view every single day. Accommodation starts at $8,000 per year, and meal plans are not compulsory. Because you've got a fully equipped kitchen, it just makes, I think you're better off cooking your own meals, and when in doubt, Uber Eats is definitely a thing. So if you've got any kind of questions at all, do feel free to get in touch. It can be quite overwhelming, you know, not only applying to colleges, but applying to colleges outside the US. So if you've got any questions about, you know, how do I even start the process of applying to schools overseas? What should I know about going to school in a different country? I would be more than happy to, you know, answer your questions as well as share my experience. But I hope you learned quite a bit about studying in the UK from this short presentation. I'm going to hand things back over to my colleague, Catherine. Thank you, Catherine.
Thank you. So helpful. So thank you. So next we have our next presentation is from Syracuse University.
Hi, everyone. So nice to meet you all. My name is Mike McGrath. I'm an assistant director in the Office of Admissions here at Syracuse University, also a proud alum. Excited to share more with you today, not only about our institution, but really the core, which is the color orange. It's more than just a, you know, color that we have on our campus. It really is a way of life amongst our students, our faculty, our alumni. Is this pride in what Syracuse University has been able to do for them as a student and continue to help them in their careers. Syracuse is a university that's located in upstate New York in the city of Syracuse. We get all 4 seasons here, as you can see from this image. It is one of the most beautiful campuses, often ranked as the most beautiful in the United States. And if you're a fan of snow, there's really no better place to be than Syracuse. We are located, as I mentioned, in upstate New York, fairly close to the Midwest. We have students who are coming from all 50 states, including Indiana, and over 170 countries represented on our campus. So the world really does come to this city in New York. And you get the chance to not only interact with people who have similar backgrounds and ideals, but really stretch your mind and meet people who are coming from new cultures, new countries, and really help you figure out what it means not only to be orange, but what it means to be you. Syracuse has 15,000 undergraduate students who are spread across 10 schools and colleges. The heart of our campus is the College of Arts and Sciences and the Maxwell School of Citizenship and Public Affairs. No matter your major, you will be taking classes in those colleges, as we are a liberal arts institution. But we also have 8 professional schools and colleges that are top ranked that you can major in. Starting in your first semester, you can take classes in these schools and colleges, be that journalism, architecture, engineering, business. So many opportunities for you. Actually, over 200 majors available to you as a Syracuse University student. We also have 100 minors, which really means that you can create a curriculum that's based off of your interests and needs. So if you're majoring in architecture, you could have a minor in real estate as you're looking to head into a field that's going to require some knowledge about not only the development of buildings, but how to sell them. But maybe you want to do something that's completely different. Maybe you're majoring in broadcast and digital journalism, but want to have a minor in electrical engineering. Those opportunities are available to you as well. We really want to help you explore your interests academically at Syracuse. And so there's undecided majors as well for most of our schools and colleges. So even if you're not sure of what specific program, we want to help you along the way. And so we have a team of faculty and advisors who will be with you throughout your 4 to 5 years at Syracuse University, depending on your program. Academic advisors who will help you figure out what classes you need to be able to graduate on time, how to add in a major or a minor. You'll have career advisors who will help you not only develop a career plan, resumes and cover letters, but find internship opportunities and careers and future jobs. Each of those schools and colleges have their own career team working with you from day one. Our students have done some amazing internships as a result. They've worked with everyone from JP Chase to the Walt Disney Company, NASA to Amazon. The list really does go on. At Syracuse, we want you not just to be a student in the classroom, but a student outside of it as well. And so engaging with experiential learning opportunities is a real focus of our campus. You're going to be doing research. As a top-ranked research university, you'll have opportunities no matter your major, be it fashion design or biotechnology, to really get a hands-on educational experience as part of that program. You have the chance to do some amazing work with our centers on campus, like our health and exercise science students, who are looking at the ways in which their body handles different levels of oxygen based off of pressure and altitude. Our faculty and staff wanted to help these students really understand what was happening, and so they brought them to new heights, literally. They organized a trip to trek up to the base camp of Mount Everest, where students were doing research on themselves as they were climbing the tallest mountain in the world. Study abroad is a big focus at Syracuse. We want to make sure every student has a world and global experience if possible, with over half of our students studying abroad during their 4 years. We have 5 centers worldwide in London, Florence, Madrid, Spain, Strasbourg, France, Santiago, Chile, for you to spend a semester, a summer, even 1 to 3 weeks, really helping you put theory into practice when it comes to your program. But it's not just about being a student. We know that you want to have amazing opportunities with friends, build new relationships, and really just discover more about who you are. The campus community is so tangible at Syracuse. That school spirit is something that you will feel as soon as you step onto our campus. We have over 300 clubs and organizations, including the #1 ranked college newspaper in the country, multiple a cappella groups and bands, Division I athletics, but also intramural and club sports. And if there's not a club that exists, you can start one. All it takes is you and a handful of friends. So that's why we have organizations like the Slow Foods Club, which is about sustainability and community. In addition, we want to make sure that you're putting your health and wellness first. We have an amazing facility called the Barnes Center at the Arch, which is integrating health and wellness at every step of the way. So it's not just a place to work out, it's a place to be healed mentally and physically as well, as that's a location of our counseling center and health center, all in one space. So as you meet with a mental health counselor, they might reference a nutritionist or a physical trainer who are just down the hall, really making sure that we're caring for you at every step of the way. Additionally, our new Shine Student Center has been renovated to help students be able to make connections across campuses. With a focus on intersectionality, we're helping students be able to build relationships amongst their own peers while still educating and finding opportunities to share more about themselves and who they are with their friends. This space has really helped our students make these connections across our campus. So the question becomes, how do you apply? How do you join the ranks of our alumni like Aaron Sorkin, President Joe Biden, and Vanessa Williams? You have to use the common application. That is where our application is located. We have 2 ways for you to apply: early decision and regular decision. Early decision is a deadline of November 15th. Regular decision is a deadline of January 1st. If Syracuse is your top choice, I highly recommend to go early. When you apply, it is a holistic review process. So we're looking at everything that's sent to us. We're looking at not only your transcript, but your essays, what your counselors and teachers say about you, what you say about yourself. We want to know what you've been involved with. How have you really taken ownership of who you are? All of that comes into play in this review process. We are test optional for those applying for 2022, as we have been this past year for 2021. And we do offer personal interviews. This gives you a chance to share more about your passions, give an inside view of who you are, and give you an opportunity to connect with us. When it comes to affordability, 80% of our students received financial aid last year, with over $295 million given out in grants and scholarships, really helping to make sure that we are working with you at every step of the way. And so I'm here to help as you have those questions. My information's on the screen. Happy to be assistance to you as you're looking to consider more about college and hopefully come to Syracuse University. Thank you so much, and happy to connect more as we head off to the next group.
Awesome. Thank you, Syracuse. Unfortunately, University of Colorado Boulder was unable to join us tonight, but don't fret, we do have another institution here and ready. So they're last, but certainly not least, we do have a representative here from the University of Arizona. So you are up.
Thank you so much, Catherine. Thank you everybody for joining us tonight. My name is Emily Martinez, and I am the admissions rep with the University of Arizona. I'm a regional rep, so I am based in the Chicagoland area and happily serve as your connection to everything Arizona. Just to jump right in, the University of Arizona was founded in 1885. Actually, when Arizona was still a territory, not even a state yet, our campus was composed of 1 building and 3 students. You can see that our main campus is located here in Tucson, Arizona. Since 1885, we've definitely grown. We now have a beautiful 1 square mile campus. Being a large university, we have about 35,000 undergraduate students. It might seem like we are too large of a university, but our campus is very much centrally located. You can walk from one end and the other in about 15 or 20 minutes. Within that 1 square mile, you will find everything you need as a student. We have over 23 dorms, we have 35 restaurants, a movie theater, 2 recreation centers, and even a post office. So everything is just a quick walk away. We've grown from 3 students to, like I said, about 35,000 undergraduate students, and another 10,000 students are graduate students, which make up our student population. Over 40% of our students do come from out of state. In fact, we have students coming from every single state in the US, and even students from over 120 different countries. Even though we could be considered a larger university, we're still able to offer a very personal educational experience. Our average class sizes are between 20 and 29 students, and our student to faculty ratio is 15:1. Plus, there are tons of advantages to being at a large public university of our size, with over 20 colleges, over 100 majors, and over 200 minors and program options. We literally have just about any program to meet your educational needs. Some of our more popular programs include our nationally top 20 ranked business college, the Eller College of Management, or our nationally recognized engineering programs with 15 unique sub-focuses, as well as our pre-health and medical science programs. The University of Arizona has 2 medical schools, so access to a lot of really great resources. We also have some of the most nationally competitive dance and fine arts programs. We offer big time opportunities for all students in all majors. We are a top tier world-class institution ranked in the top 1% of universities in the entire world. Arizona is a premier tier 1 Research 1 institution and a renowned member of the prestigious Association of American Universities. This is an exclusive club of about 65 colleges and universities, and the University of Arizona is ranked right up there with Harvard, Yale, and UC Berkeley. And this is because we focus on providing research opportunities to students. And again, these are opportunities across all areas. So from arts to sciences and everything in between, our Wildcats are truly thriving. Not only do we have countless ways to grow academically and professionally, we also have a lot going on outside of the classroom. We have over 600 different student clubs to participate in. And the variety of clubs that we offer is what makes the social scene at Arizona truly amazing. Our student clubs and orgs range from academics to leadership and student government to special interests to Greek life to athletics and recreation and everything in between. Have you ever heard of Zona Zoo? It is the official student section for our Division I Arizona Athletics, and it has been consistently ranked by ESPN as the biggest, loudest, and best student section in the Pac-12 conference. You can imagine how much fun our campus is when we have athletic events. Another great way to get involved is to live on campus. The University of Arizona has 23 dorms to choose from, and all 23 dorms house freshmen through seniors. So we actually do not have any housing requirements or restrictions. You get complete freedom and making your living experience what you want it to be. Even though it's not a requirement for first-year students to live on campus, over 75% of them do choose to live on campus, just because it gives you the added convenience and access to our resources, and that makes the transition a little bit easier. And of course, probably the best part is the convenience of rolling out of bed and walking to class. If you've never been to Tucson, I invite you to come check it out. It is an amazing city. It is probably best known for the beautiful mountain vistas, sunsets, cacti, and outdoor adventures. There are literally thousands of miles of hiking and biking trails. We also have a very cool city, a unique city, downtown Tucson. It's got a great art scene, eclectic shops, coffee spots, restaurants. They usually host concerts and different markets and festivals. So a lot going on. It's definitely a college town. It offers you kind of the whole package when it comes to the college experience. Being from the Midwest, my favorite point about Tucson is the weather. It's an average school time temperature of about 83 degrees and over 300 days of sunshine a year. What's not to like? So maybe you have decided that Arizona is definitely a school for you. Applying to Arizona is very easy. This is what you need to know. We do not require essays. Personal statements are optional. We do not consider letters of recommendation. Please do not submit them. And we are test optional. The University of Arizona does evaluations a bit different. It's actually a state requirement that we evaluate you on these 16 core courses. So if you see on our screen here, there are 16 classes listed, and we need to ensure that by the time you graduate high school, you have completed these 16 core courses. We are also going to use these 16 core courses to determine your core GPA. It is unweighted on a 4.0 scale using grades from your freshman to junior year. That core GPA is what will be used to determine your admissibility as well as merit scholarship consideration. Again, this is very specific to the state of Arizona, so it can be a bit confusing. There is more information on our website it breaks it down into what classes are allowed. But if you have any questions, of course, you can always reach out to me. I also want to point out that we do offer assured admission. So you might be admitted to Arizona and not even know it. If you are in the top 25% of your graduating class, or if you have a 3.0 core GPA, then congratulations, you are an Arizona Wildcat. We also offer merit scholarships. You can see they range up to $35,000 per year. No separate application required. When you apply, you are automatically considered. I also invite you to check us out online. Unfortunately, at this time, we are not offering on-campus visits, but you can always take a virtual tour on our website. Every Tuesday, we offer Ask a Wildcat on our Instagram page. So if you want to hear directly from the students about their student experience, definitely check us out. Again, my name is Emily Martinez, and you can always find my contact information online. So thanks so much. I'm going to turn it back over to Catherine.
Thank you so much. We just heard from the University of Arizona, and we're excited about hearing from all presenters tonight, so thank you. We do have some time left in tonight's webinar, and so we'll dive right into our Q&A portion. And so our first question I would like to present to our presenters is, what advice would you give someone going through the college search process? Again, what advice would you give someone going through the college search process? So at this time, I'll ask all the presenters to please turn on their video and to unmute themselves, and we'll go ahead and start in the order in which you presented in.
Awesome, thank you, Catherine. For this question, I think that the best advice I could give to someone going through the college search process is just to ask questions. I know every college is very different with their application process and a lot of different stuff about their institutions. And so I believe, if students ask questions, then it's a much easier process for them to go through and have each requirement for that specific institution. So definitely just ask questions as much as possible.
I would 100% agree with that. And I would also add to do as many visits as you can, especially right now in all this crazy time when we can't maybe do as much traveling. Would encourage you to do virtual visits, something like this, would encourage you to go in person, would encourage you to check out virtual events just so you can learn as much as possible and hopefully get a good feel for the university.
So if you are considering studying overseas, my tip to you, if you can, would be to not actually tell anyone that you're considering studying overseas. So when I was a senior in high school, so I'm from Florida, my family's from California, so I applied to schools in both Florida and California, and I applied to the University of East London just as my wild card university, just to see if I would get in. And I didn't tell anyone about it until I actually made my decision to attend UEL. And I really think that worked well in my favor just because no one was able to tell me their opinion. No one was able to kind of force it on me or question my decision. And looking back, I'm really glad that I did that.
I think one thing I always tell students to keep in mind is it's completely okay if you don't know what you want to do for a job, if you don't know what you want to major in. You have so much time in college to figure out who you are and what it is that you want to focus in. There's lots of undecided options, but even starting off as a history major, like I did, you might end up in a career that you might not even have thought of at the start. So there are some programs definitely for sure that, if you want to go into engineering, having a background in engineering is important, but being open to those academic possibilities, I think will really help you in the future.
Those are all great pieces of advice. And the only thing that I could add is to explore all of your options. Maybe you think pigeonhole on this is what I want, this is what I've always wanted. Maybe you can try to explore something else, maybe smaller colleges, larger colleges, or even programs. You might see something or something might spark your interest that could be completely opposite from what you originally planned, but you just have to do what's best for you. So just keep exploring, keep looking to see what's out there.
Catherine, you're muted.
Thank you. Of course. So as I was saying, great advice. So thank you all for sharing. Our next question is, what is your favorite event or tradition on campus?
So I could probably talk for hours and hours, as I'm sure we all can, about all of the traditions and events that our respective colleges have. But for me, as a Bellermine grad, I would probably say that my favorite Bellermine tradition, I'll pick the top two. So one is Ball on the Bell. So basically what that is, it's like a Halloween, kind of like a costume contest party on the Belle of Louisville, which is this historic steamboat that is on the Ohio River. So basically we're in the middle of the river for 2 hours, and it's really fun. There's always the contest and everything. I should have won for most creative costume my senior year, but I did not. I'm still very bitter about that. And so that's just like a really fun event. But then also a Bellarmine staple is late night bingo. And again, we are the Bellermine Knights, so as many chances we can to have a night pun, we will take it. And so late night bingo is really fun. It's basically just play bingo late at night. It's pretty self-explanatory, but there's always really fun prizes, from like ramen noodles to Keurig machines or concert tickets. And so there's a bunch of stuff that people can get from winning bingo.
That is so fun. Love that. One of my favorite Belmont traditions is called our Towering Traditions. And so it is our orientation for new students. So there's several different sessions that students attend. You are put into a Towering Traditions group. So they're kind of like your family as you're kicking off your first semester. And there's just all sorts of fun traditions that are part of that. So at the end of Towering Traditions, the night before school starts, all of our freshman students have a session around our bell tower, which is sadly not in my background, but a Belmont icon. So that is a fun thing. And then when you graduate, you have a session around the bell tower again. So that is a sweet thing, but lots of fun things.
So my favorite kind of event is probably Freshers Week. So it's a tradition that takes place at every UK university, but essentially the week before classes start, it's just filled with parties and social gatherings and meeting tons of students. And I find that that's really where you make like the majority of your friends. You meet them all like right at the very beginning, which is really neat.
So I'm going to expand upon the definition of event and just say a season, which is winter. Winter is a big deal in Syracuse, New York. We obviously get quite a bit of snow, and so sledding down our hills is often a rite of passage for our freshmen, especially the one where Krause College, which was that Hogwarts building that you might have seen. Additionally, we're home to Division I athletics, and basketball is a pretty big deal for Syracuse. So the Carrier Dome, which is the largest dome on a college campus, is filled with students with the highest attendance for a college basketball game time and time again. But really my favorite event is the chili cook-off, which happens during our winter welcome week, in which students bring their own recipes for chili, share them, and it's just some really amazing food that exists out there. So a lot of great opportunities in the winter.
So fun. At the University of Arizona, like I mentioned, we have a lot of mountains surrounding us. One of my favorite traditions is a mountain, which is a mountain that you can see from anywhere in the city of Tucson. And the night before the first day of classes, our students will hike up to the top of a mountain and repaint the Block A, the University of Arizona symbol, into the mountain so that it kind of signifies here's the start of a new academic year, and it lets the city of Tucson know that it's about to begin. So it's a really cool tradition that our students participate in.
Awesome. I always love hearing about the different events and traditions on campus. So thank you all for sharing. We have time for about one more, so we'll make this one pretty brief. But the last question is, can you give an interesting or fun fact about your school?
So probably one of the most interesting facts about Bellermine at this point in time is that we're actually in our first year as a Division I school. So prior to the 2020-2021 school year, we were Division II in the JLVC conference. And this year we actually made the transition to Division I in the Atlantic Sun Conference. And we're doing super well already competing at the Division I level. And our men's basketball team actually came in second for the regular season for the Atlantic Sun Conference, which is really awesome. And so we've been on a lot of headlines about top schools to make the transition from D2 to D1 this year. And so that's something that's really exciting. And Knights Nation, which is our student section at all of our athletic events on campus, is always super excited about that. Obviously with COVID, that's changed a little bit, as I'm sure everyone's has, but it's just super exciting that we're in this new age here at Bellarmine.
Well, I briefly talked about my fun fact, but Belmont hosted our second presidential debate in October. So we hosted one in 2008 and then this past fall. So that was a really neat opportunity for us to be a part of. So I got to volunteer during the debate and watch all the motorcades come in, and several of our students got to be in the debate hall as well. So lots of fun things happening, but that is my fun fact for Belmont.
A fun fact for the University of East London, we are ranked first in the UK for the impact of our psychological research, beating Oxford and Cambridge.
For Syracuse University, one of my favorite fun facts is that we have a secret society, the Chime Masters. And so they are the ones who ring the bells of Krause College each day at 8 a.m. and 5 p.m. to recognize the traditional business day, and students will submit song choices on Instagram of what they want to hear. So you might walk to campus and hear Part of Your World, and at the end of the day, it's Fireworks by Katy Perry. So it's just kind of a fun way to start each day.
One fun fact about the University of Arizona is that we are one of the very few schools to have two mascots. So our first mascot, original mascot, was Wilbur the Wildcat. Later on, we introduced Wilma the Wildcat, and we actually, they got married. We had a very big ceremony, and Wilbur and Wilma are now married Wildcats.
That is awesome. Thank you all for sharing your fun fact. We really appreciate it. Always very interesting. So thank you. Well, we have now reached the conclusion of our webinar. Thank you all so much for joining us. We really appreciate it. Before we close, when you do close your browser, there will be a quick survey that will appear. We do ask that if you have a moment to fill that out and give us your feedback. It's always helpful for us. And then second, feel free to sign up for more sessions. There are more sessions going on tonight. And so you're more than welcome to sign up for more where you signed up for this one. And then this recording will be available a week from today at strivescan.com/Indiana. So thank you all for joining us, and I hope you have a great evening.